Welcome to another exciting episode of the Million Dollar Peddlers. I'm Papergoy.
And I'm Mr. Magazine.
Welcome to 2022. Well, I think I said that last Bolo video, didn't I?
Probably.
But anybody new to the channel, what we try to do every Saturday is bring you Bolos or show you what's sold on eBay, would be another way to put it. These are things out there that you should look for, try to give you a little bit of an interesting story about them, and so on. And my cohort, Mr. Magazine, always starts us off, so start us off.
All right. How's it going? It is football season, and I've been buying a lot of sports cards, so you'll see the pattern here. But this is Justin Herbert. He's been very hot. This is a rare signature card. It's numbered 3 out of 25. It's got a jersey piece on it, so it's called an RPA, a rookie patch autograph. I paid $1,000 for this card. There was no comps on it, really. I figured it'd be worth a couple thousand. Put up for $25, and then the low offers come in. $300, $400, $500.
Really?
Yeah. It's,
wow.
And if you compare to other ones of his card, a couple grand's not out of line. So, but the point is, stand firm on your price that you want, which was $2,000. I wanted to get $2,000 out of it, and I waited, and I got $2,000 out of it. So, that's my point on it. But I had to step up to the plate. It wasn't like $100. I didn't pull it out of a pack. I had to, pay someone else that pulled it. They got a grand out of it. I'll make the grand less expensive, so it's still worth it.
Now, what would a pack of that have cost new?
So this is immaculate. So I think the immaculate stuff, you get like 3 packs in a box, and it's like $1,000. So immaculate's high end stuff. So everything out of it's going to be not so much good, but rare, signed, jersey, low number. Something. It may not always be a star like this. You might get a common, and then that's how you're out the money. But generally, this stuff gets pulled in breaks for the most part.
So,
because a break may cost you $100 or $200, it's more like gambling. You may get a card, you may not get a card, you may get a great card or a crappy card. Whereas if you're buying the box, you're going to spend $1,000. You could lose $1,000 or $900 that way. Where the break, whatever the break cost is, that's your loss.
So I used to go to the corner store and buy packs for 30 cents a piece.
Yeah, me too.
What am I going to get for 30 cents nowadays?
Maybe a torn corner of the box. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's not. I was going to say it's not your dad's hobby. It's not my hobby. Wow.
Well, it's also basketball season, and Anthony Edwards, I believe he was Rookie of the Year last year. This is a Blue Wave Prism. I bought this as well. I ended up taking, I think, $1,300 for it. Again, offers were low. I need to make $100, $200 off a $500 investment, whatever I paid for the card. I can't spend $500 and sell for $550.
No, right.
So, I mean, you got to buy it smart and sell it smart as well. But I think I end up taking $1,200 or $1,300 for it. Even if I made $200, it's $200 I didn't have, and it's only one item I'm buying.
Right. And that's a Gem Mint 10. Somebody came in and sold that to you?
Correct, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
And moving on, another graded item from the local Webster magazine collection, I'll call it. Then I got these graded myself. All high grades. This one I took $1,200 on it. It's an early Playboy, the first year, issue number 5. At 9.0. I think it's near mint to mint.
Which actually reminds me, and I'm got the pen. Going to be writing this down. We did a video a long time ago about grading and our thoughts on grading. I believe we need to do another video about it because I believe that your thoughts have evolved on it somewhat. So we will, sometime soon, you'll see a grading video.
Or sooner than later. A graded basketball card. Panini selects Zion Williamson. This looks, I believe it was a rookie card. Gem Mint 10. This one I think I took $700. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to pay around half price or better, obviously, if you can, which is hard to do with this type of stuff. But put a higher price on it because there's not going to be a lot of comps. It's a rare card. It's a 10. And then, I want to price it higher than I think I'm going to get out of it. So then they're going to make me these low offers. And instead of them offering $500, I'll take the $800 that I got out of it.
Well, let me ask a quick question for you, just in general.
Sure.
What are the prices like on Zion at this point?
Right now, they're definitely dipped. So people are buying them to invest in because they think, yeah, right now they're lower.
Because he hasn't played, I don't believe, this year. They're saying he's falling asleep in meetings. He's out of shape.
Yeah, exactly. But, so I think they think the upside would be great if he can turn it around, in the offseason, heal up, lose some weight, get in shape. Then this card could double or triple.
Okay, so they're doing investment on it as opposed to... Okay.
Well, think about all the people last year when Joe Burrow got hurt. And they were buying his cards because his cards were cheap because Herbert was hot. Now Burrow's, threw 1,000 yards in 2 weeks. So, if you're smart and have money to invest in,
And get lucky.
right? Exactly. Yeah, it's like the stock market. Yeah.
Wow, it's crazy.
Yeah. Next up, another basketball card that is graded. Anthony Edwards, rookie. This is a light blue. There's a different one, a little cheaper card. I think I took $6.50 on this, but I might have paid $3.50.
So basically, when everything is said and done, by the time you add your fees, you add this, and you're probably all your employee costs, you're probably making about 20% is probably what you're making on these,
Right.
all said and done.
Well,
if you're paying
It
50%.
may even be less because if you think about it, I didn't just buy this one card from this person. I may have bought a whole collection, and all the $5, $10, $20 cards are sitting in a box still that I put some type of value on. So, but again, we have, if we get these cards on, even the cheaper ones will sell at some point.
Right.
And then lastly, we have a graded comic.
I'm sensing a theme.
Yes. X-Men 101, appearance of Phoenix, I think is their origin or first appearance. I think I took $6.50 on this. Even this comic raw is $400 or $500. It's a
Wow.
7.5, which isn't too bad. A 9.8 might be 20 grand or something like that. It's crazy.
See, but here's the crazy thing. When I was really into collecting back in the day, that wasn't worth much more
No.
than, it was worth less than number 100, I believe. 100 was a good issue.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. But
Don't know what to say.
there you go. That's it for me.
Luckily, I will pull out of my funk and find something to say. Sony TC230 Portable Stereo Music Control Center Advertising Brochure. I believe I talked on the live show, 7:30 Eastern every Wednesday, about how I had picked up a collection of stereo brochures as a throw-in on a deal.
Nice.
I took $24 on this. Took multiple pictures of it to just show what it was, and that. I actually did have, not on this one, but on another one, somebody from India wanting to buy one of the brochures, but they thought for all the world that it was actually the speaker. And what got me
that's
was,
funny, because I've had issues like that too.
yep, when they went and they said, well, how much is this going to weigh and what are the dimensions? I'm like, 4 ounces, 8 by 11. I said, I have to tell you, I don't think you're going to be happy with this because you're not getting what you think you're getting.
And to free shipping. Well, it's funny because I have brochures of pinball games and video games, the full upright ones that weigh 1,000 pounds. And I sell the same types of things.
Yep.
And I had someone ask me one time, I think it was a pool table. And they go, oh, it's $20 with free shipping. That's a great deal for a pool table. I'm like, seriously?
Yep. So that is the one downside of selling the brochures. Now, I didn't list it in the area where you would list the actual pieces.
But it says brochure in the title. I mean, even if you put it under condition, you're saying brochure twice. I mean, I guess
you've got the multiple
do that.
pictures
Yeah.
of the brochure, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
But you can make good money on them, but I just want you to be wary of one of the issues that can happen is that people may not necessarily read it. If they seem not to understand, definitely reach out to them. Even if you've made the sale, reach out to them before you ship it out and say, just to let you know, make sure you understand. This is a brochure. It's a piece of paper. It's not the item.
Well, the red flag will be when they email you after they buy and say, "Oh my gosh, I just made all this room in the corner of my house for this."
Unless they're living in one of those like 40 square foot New York City apartments.
Yeah, micro houses. Yeah.
Next thing we have over here is something that was outside of what I usually sell. I was at a sale and I paid $1 on this because I said, "Oh, this has to be good." I get home and say, I really need to stick to things that I know because it's not good. But it has a positive ending on it. Lifelike Grass, the finest in scenery, unopened 1950s model train, 7 ounces. Paid $1 for it. Got home. I said, it's got to be really good. This sells for $10 with free shipping on it.
Jeez, I wish you asked me. Because I don't put any value. When I buy train collections, I get a lot of that stuff, and I know they're not, that good.
They were all over the place at $10. I said, well, I have the minimum that I'll list anything at is $20 on Papergoy, so I'll put it up at $20. I'll take an offer. Somebody paid the full boat at $20.
Nice.
They could have bought from many other people for less. Now, whether it was because of my positive feedbacks, whether it was something else of mine drew them into the store and they happened to see this, I don't really know. But I guess the lesson to be learned is, especially when you take offers, because I would have taken less on it had the gentleman offered, don't be afraid to price it at what you need to get out of it. Don't, just because everybody else has it listed at $10, I didn't price mine at 10. I priced mine higher, and I ended up getting my price out of it. So let that be a lesson to you. You can't always explain why somebody buys it. Perhaps he's bought from me before. Perhaps, whatever the reason is, he paid $20 for it, was happy with it. I'm happy to have sold it for him, or to him. So just list at the price you have to list. Next item we have over here, the Chronicles of Narnia, C.S. Lewis, 1983 calendar, Michael Haig, whatever it is.
Sure, Haig.
There you go. Ended up taking a $60 offer on this one over here because it was up for auction at $48, and somebody said, would you, basically made me an offer of $60, and I said, yes, I would. Happy to get it going. It was opened and was used. It was partially used, not a lot, but a couple of the dates somebody put down their doctor's appointment or whatever in. Otherwise, nice shape. Yeah. But this is something that most people would have just walked by out there at the sales. And I think I paid $1 for it, something or other like that. I knew that people would collect Narnia. I know people collect calendars, et cetera, et cetera. Right. You just never know. And it sold fairly quickly for the $60. So quite happy with that. Do keep your eyes out there for calendars. They do sell. Yeah. Next item we have up over here is West Side Urban Renewal Area HUD Final Plan Summary 1960s New York City. Talk about an exciting topic.
It's a rare piece, I'm sure.
I'm certain that it is as well. Got $32 out of it. One thing that we are at some point going to do a show on is the importance of store categories. I have a store category, New York, Rochester. I have a store category, New York, Buffalo. I have a store category, New York City, Long Island, because we get a lot of stuff from those areas up here. This was in my New York City area, obviously. Took a lot of pictures of it because it was difficult to necessarily describe exactly what it was. But somebody or other, I'm sure, from New York City in the 1960s, grew up in this area, lives in this area, knows this area. They're not going to find another one. So I put it up at $32. I got the $32 out of it. Was quite happy with that. But this is something that a lot of pictures are necessary in order to sell. Sure. No doubt whatsoever about it. Because as good as my title is, which how good can it be? What search, what keywords can you possibly use on it to start with? You got to draw them in to find it. And again, they were able to find it, so I was able to make the sale. But you've got sitting on something like this, don't be afraid to list it, because somebody out there wants it, but I think that having the store category definitely helped. Sure. Now, you were showing up there a little earlier in the video, go back and watch again if you missed it, about PSA 10s, things like that. Yep. So you are becoming the new Mr. Mint from the appearance of things.
I would certainly like to be.
Well, I have always been Mr. Good to Very Good. And dirt and heavier scuffing on covers. And take a look at this condition. No, that is not good condition whatsoever on this over here. However, have you heard of F. Scott Fitzgerald?
Yes.
Wrote The Great Gatsby. He also put a lot of stuff into the various magazines, such as Red Book Magazine, October 1936. It also has Ellery Queen and Ursula Parrott in her as well. Also has some other exciting things in her, I'm certain, which is why I put the table of contents up. Sure. But I did get $68 out of this item, despite that condition. Yeah. Years ago, I probably would have listed it at 30. There were no comps on it at all. I probably would have listed it at 30 because of the condition. Now I took a look at it with my new pricing structure, and I said, there are no comps on it. Right. If somebody wants the F. Scott Fitzgerald for whatever reason, or the Ellery Queen, it's not going to be easy for them to find another one. And if they want it for the story, to read the story, or they're a collector, they're willing to pay a little more for it because they can't find it. So I didn't let the condition deter me. Now, a lot of people wouldn't even have bought it in the first place because, again, when you take a look at that, that's pretty nasty looking over
acceptable.
There. It would, indeed, it is acceptable. So don't let condition deter you all the time. And now, obviously, on common stuff, I mean, if I come into your store with a box of 1999 Topps Commons and I floss my teeth with every one of them, walk by them, don't buy them, they're not worth it. Right. I come in with 1933 Gaudy cards and they're not in great shape. They're 1933 Gaudy cards. They're almost 100 years old. You're not going to find them in high grade, generally speaking. Exactly. So just kind of don't necessarily walk away from things just because of the condition. I think we're always stressing that. You went to school.
A long time ago.
You, in kindergarten, I believe you had some artistic talents,
Okay.
from what I hear.
Oh, yes, kindergarten. Sure.
You had artistic talents, and remember all that artwork that your mom put up on the refrigerator?
Yep.
You should have saved it and sold it.
Oh, jeez.
So, Art Deco Christmas and New Year's original art 1931 Santa Claus airship, and there's small tears around borders. This is literally, I don't remember if it was an 8x10 or an 8.5x11 sheet of paper that somebody had drawn these items on. 4 items or 6 items, something other like that. Oh, there it is right there. Two-sided. So,
Yeah, they're small.
very small. Got $42 out of it.
Wow.
Cannot argue with that whatsoever. It's very nice looking. I'm not going to tell you it's not nice looking. They are. There was some talent, and it definitely is in the Art Deco style.
Yeah.
But to get $42 out of an 8x10 sheet of paper like that years ago, I wouldn't have thrown it away, but it would still be sitting in the garage.
Right. Exactly.
I decided to list it, and thanks to the friend of the channel, Auction Professor, where you do the zoom in, I think that picture right there looks better than that picture right there and selling it.
For sure.
And then I've got the various, zoom ins on each of them. Very easy to do. You just take your picture and you use the eBay to crop it. So got $42 out of something like that.
Nice.
The last item that I have in this Bolo video, do check all of them out. We have, probably 60, 70 of them probably up, something rather like that.
Nice.
They're in a couple of different areas. We recently started a separate Bolo section, so you'll find them there. And before that, they were in the infotainment section. So you'll definitely be able to check out a lot of old Bolos or try to have a lot of fun. I did mention this subtly a while ago, about 3 months ago in a video, and you said, we're going to be hearing about this at some point. Well, now you're hearing about it.
All right.
The Flash 17 original cover art,
Nice.
Ebel, 1969, DC Comics, Brazil, America. This is actually the original cover art for a comic book in Brazil of the Flash.
Wow.
I believe I paid $400 for it. I believe I took an offer of $950 on it. So after all expenses, I basically doubled my money. Just wanted you to see. I think I got a really good deal on it when I first got it. I was very, very happy about it. I
Is it
couldn't
different
believe it.
artist from the Brazil compared to U.S.?
Yes,
isn't
yep.
it? Okay.
That's what the EBAL is
Okay.
the artist name. I've never heard of the gentleman, and does fine work. You're probably not going to find this kind of thing out there in the wild, to be quite honest with you. But it is just a neat little piece.
Wow.
Yeah, that was the back where he had done that there on the back as well. So
Nice.
just wanted to show you once in a while, the very, very slow move to selling higher end art pieces is slowly paying off.
Nice.
Let me ask you a quick question here. You sell higher priced items, as we saw earlier.
Right.
How worried do you get about the shipping on it, and do you require signature confirmation, and how do you handle it? Because I will tell you, I was a nervous wreck on this.
Yeah.
I packed it up very, very well.
Yeah.
Signature confirmation. I insured it. It probably ran me $30 to ship this.
Yeah. Sometimes you lose money on the higher end stuff for shipping, but I think eBay makes you do signature required.
Okay.
First of all, anything else, I usually do it for $300 or more, anyways. I like to feel for a couple bucks, it's worth knowing like, hey, they got the item. There's proof right there. For insurance, that's the key. Insurance is a hard one to gauge because it's very expensive to insure. Like they might be $20 just to insure.
Yeah, I believe it was.
piece.
Yeah, yep.
And I look at it this way: can it get damaged? Like obviously graded comics, I want to insure them because they can get. We've had some get damaged. A graded sports card that's $5,000. I mean, it should never get damaged. You bubble wrap it enough, put it in a box.
Now, what about loss?
The loss, there's the issue right there too. But then I guess if you do the signature required, but then if they don't sign for it and they don't get it, I guess you're screwed either which way. So yeah, I don't think of that generally. We've never had items of that high value get lost. Maybe one time in 20 years, I don't know. But I kind of chintz out on insurance sometimes.
Okay, I was just wondering because I rarely, if
Yeah.
ever, sell anything at this level, and I was a nervous wreck.
Right.
$900 to you is a rounding error. To me, it's not.
I would still get upset with it.
I know you would get upset, but you know what I'm saying
Yeah,
there.
sure.
So hopefully that helps you some. Do comment down below on how you handle higher priced items on that over there. I very rarely do it, so I was concerned. Luckily, I believe it got there. I've never heard from them that it didn't, and I would think at this point, given that this was a few weeks ago, I would hear from them.
Yeah.
Do hit the like button if you could, and we will see you next Bolo video.
Take care. Bye-bye.